What up? What it be? Today, same day for me, same shirt, different day for y'all. I'm gonna be trying out this thing. This is a shrimp ring, cocktail shrimp ring to be exact. There's some cocktail sauce in the middle surrounded by 27 little shrimps. I've never had this before, cocktail shrimp. It's something I've heard about before. Or is it a shrimp cocktail? I don't know, but this was a frozen product. I picked it up for probably about $8 and I have had it in the refrigerator, but it's dripping. I hope it's not shrimp juice. I hope it's just water, but I'm definitely smelling some essences of the sea. So that's weird. Maybe I gotta unpackage this. Let's do that right now. The leakage, man. Leakage is the worst. Come on. All right, y'all, so this should be some cocktail sauce, which I've never had this. It's a classic sauce, I believe. And I believe there's like, what is it? Ketchup in here? Horseradish or Tabasco? I don't know. I'm gonna be interested to see what this is all about. I have an idea of what it might taste like. Maybe from a past life, maybe from when I was a young kid and I tried something like this. And it's smelling about what I'd expect it to smell like, so there we go. Here are the shrimp covered in plastic, and look at all this water, man. That's shrimp water just stagnating down there. So that's not ideal, but it is what it is. Can't complain too much, but my whole board's wet, so that's classic. And now I'm gonna have to figure out a decent way to present this to you all. Stand this up somehow. What's this? Some Bombay? That's right. I'm not just eating a shrimp cocktail. We'll be drinking a little cocktail over here. Actually, this is this is the biggest cocktail I've ever done seen in my life with the old 2 straws combined into it. Let's take a sip of this. Cheers over here. Oh yeah. Gin and tonic. I feel like this will be a good mix with this. I feel like gin and tonic, it's got kind of that, I don't know, it's a little bit dry. It's a little bit, maybe dare say a little citrusy kind of flavor to it. And I just feel like that will go with this shrimp right here. So without further ado, let's just get into it after I figure out some kind of thumbnail. Don't worry, I put a ton of ice in here, so it's actually not that much alcohol. And I'm not gonna finish this whole thing on camera. I'm gonna sip on it while I'm editing this video. Anyway, let's get into it, man. Oh, man. So check the shrimp, man. It's looking alright. It's looking like a shrimp. I don't know how they cooked it, but it's cooked. And it's got that perfect, I feel like an actual shrimp cocktail, you would actually set it onto the rim of a glass, which it's got this perfect little hook on it, so it actually fit there nicely. And just kind of dip it like that. But, we ain't doing that today. We're just going in straight for the dip. I probably should have tried a plain first. Let me do that, since this one fell down anyway. Going in. I dedicate this one to all the people out there who like shrimp, specifically shrimp cocktails. Plain, it's not bad. I like the little kind of shrimp texture. Still trying to search for a word to describe that texture. If anyone has any ideas, it's what I'm talking about. It's kind of that poppy. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm at a loss still. So who knows? But I'm gonna try this one with the cocktail sauce. I feel like this will be a lot better. This wasn't bad. It just needed something for sure. That's way better. So in this sauce right here, I'm tasting some chili sauce. I feel like that's potentially the base in there. I read that sometimes prepared horseradish, this is gonna get, see, I was thinking about starting from the top and then we're here, but let me see. Can't lie. I'm a fan. I am a fan of this combo. It tastes so fresh, almost like a ceviche, if you will. I never had ceviche, but in my head, I imagine it to be something like this, kind of super fresh, light, kind of a little bit of a tropical essence, if you will. Like this would be something I would be wanting to eat next to a body of water. Let's see if this goes well with it. That ain't bad. See, I would love to be eating this exact meal right here, like on the ocean. You feel me? But I'll tell you what, no, for real talk though. The first bite without the cocktail sauce, with it, game changer. So if you're not a big shrimp fan, not a big seafood fan, and you ever come across this, give it a dip. And I guarantee you might be like, oh, that's a deuce. That's a deuce. I'm not gonna eat these tails probably because, I mean, I'll eat one just to see. They're fine. Nothing wrong with them. I've eaten shrimp whole head to tail before. I think, I don't wanna be too, divisive or anything, but I feel like in America, it's like you gotta be real careful. Don't eat the tails, don't eat the heads. And then over here, I just see people eating the whole thing. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Nothing wrong with it, but I'll tell you, I've had Japanese folks tell me that, Korean folks tell me that, and it is what it is. I don't mind the tail, but it's not adding a lot to me. I'll tell you, I'm not a big seafood guy. And when I say I'm not a big seafood guy, you can take that in multiple ways. It could be like, oh, I don't like seafood. Sometimes I'll say I'm not a big seafood guy, and then like later on, like, oh yeah, you hate seafood, right? I'm like, no, I never said that. I just said I'm not a big seafood guy, right? Like there's some seafood that I really like. Salmon probably be top tier. Any kind of fried fish is right up my alley. I never go for, I don't think I've ever just ordered a lobster and eaten a lobster, like crab legs. I think I've had Korean style crab legs once, but not those huge ones that you see at like Vegas casinos, which I want to get my hands on those at some point. I don't think they really exist here. They prepare it in a different way, is what I'm saying, but. What else? Did I say tuna? Yeah, tuna is a classic, fish sticks. Filet o fish. What else? Like sushi, there's salmon, tuna sushis. Shrimp. I'll tell you, some shrimp can be real bomb. The breaded and fried shrimp, that is up my alley. I've had some really good stuff. Really good, like big prawn type of fried Japanese tempura style. That's really hit before. But, if you give me a clam, I'll eat it. I ate clams the other day, and they're fine. Tasted fine. They were just in some kind of soup that I was eating. But I'm not going out of my way to eat clams. Never that. Oysters, that is still on my list. I've seen it like many times on the Travel Channel, Food Network, whatever. They go to like these oyster bars and you get like, you put like, they shuck them and then you get a plate of like 10. You can order them in plates, like large plates. And then you put like a little lemon squeeze, a little hot sauce maybe, and just down it in one shot. That looks like my style. I've never seen that around here. I want to try that, so maybe if I can get my hands on that in the future, definitely on the bucket list. As was this, to be fair. I'm very happy with this. And I'll tell you what, I'd get this again. I would order this again. This would be great for parties. Perfect for parties, actually. With the, you got the cocktail. It's a mix. No sponsorship with Bombay. Obviously, I don't know if I should keep saying it or if we're just, obvious at this point, but still unsolicited from sponsorship since 2009. All right, so that is what that is. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got to say. Seafood. I know there's probably a couple seafoods that I knew best with that I haven't talked about yet. Off the top of my head, I don't know, tilapia. I mess with that. Thing is, like over here, Seoul or Korea, it's like a little peninsula surrounded by water, ocean water. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of people really mess with seafood over here. I'm from Illinois, so I mean that's you ain't getting fresh fish. Except bass, smallmouth bass, stuff like that, which is alright. But the real seafood, I feel like, comes from the ocean. But I'll tell you what, when it comes to seafood, there's like seafood lovers. There's like seafood haters. They don't touch anything seafood, right? And then there's people probably like me who, it's not my go-to, it's not my favorite, but there's some seafood dishes that I do like. I mess with sushi and stuff like that. Just a salmon fillet can be incredible. It can be so mighty fine. Then there's seafood lovers who are like, oh, I'm out hitting up like the Red Lobster, let's go to the Red Lobster, let's get the crab legs, let's get the lobsters and everything. And then there's Asian level seafood lovers, you know what I mean? Because I'll tell you what, you don't know a seafood until you've been to I don't want to step out of bounds here, but I'll say until you've been to an Asian fish market. I've been to the big old famous fish market here in Seoul, and it's just crazy. It's wild. And we're talking about some of the strangest creatures you've ever seen before. The cucumbers, the things that I would have no idea, that looking like they came from 20,000 leagues, looking like parts of the human body, and I'm not gonna specify which ones here, but you might be able to guess. Spiny. I mean, they're straight up like pufferfish poisonous. I think I've had that on the channel. With toxins that will kill a man, but if you prepare exactly right, you can like remove that. So it's like risky business, man. But yeah, dude. So people over here who say seafood, they like seafood. The seafood lovers here are next level because they're eating some off the wall crustaceans and just anemones, A lot of times I'll just like, if someone offers me, I've been in situations where I've been offered like, seafood dishes. They're not fish. I don't know what they are. I think they're like gastropods, perhaps. I don't know. Yeah, octopus is huge over here. Like raw. I've had that. That's not too bad. But what was I even saying? No, like, people be going crazy over here. Real crazy. Ice particles on some bogue. This is personally good though. The first bite without the cocktail sauce was like, you know what? This could use a little bit of seasoning, salt and pepper, whatever, something like that. But just dipping it in this sauce alone doesn't need anything. I'm actually loving this right now for some reason. I think it's probably because of this. It's plastic. Oh, it's fish exoskeleton, man. Anyway, shrimp cocktail, highly recommend. Now, when it comes to regular cocktails, I don't recommend cocktails. I hate cocktails. They're a scam. They're a sham. Just kidding. I feel like mixologists, bartenders, working that craft would be an insanely hard thing to do. To get to that, even like a regular bartender, I could if I had to, but like working that job, a bunch of drunk people coming up and like asking for bogus stuff, and you're like, excuse me, like whatever. But like the high level mixologists who are making some crazy, like, I mean, let alone all the tricks they're doing with this bottle spins and stuff, but even just memorize, hey, I want like a Manhattan. I don't even know what that is, but they can, right off the top, okay, here you go. I'm putting together a high class cocktail. There's a big difference in my experience with kind of low level cocktails and high level cocktails. Right off the bat, I'm not a cocktail guy. I avoid them like the plague if I can. Usually. Because if I could ever have falling apart here. If I ever had the chance to pick from, a glass of whiskey on the rocks or some kind of cocktail with some weird name that I don't even know of, I pick the whiskey on the rocks every time. Why not? And it's not one of those things like, oh yeah, I'm manly, I drink whiskey, never that. I don't hate on, it's not that. It's just because there's so much damn sugar and extra like calories that's like, why? If it's for a reason like you don't handle straight up alcohol that well, okay, that's a good reason. If you just genuinely enjoy the flavor and you're only gonna have a couple, sure. But if you're going and you're going hard and you're drinking like 10 cocktails, like cocktails over here can range anyone for like the cheap ones could be like what, maybe $7. Expensive ones, $20 if you go to a real nice place. So like a cocktail, I mean, if you're drinking like 8-10 cocktails, that's freaking, give me something on the rocks. That's it. I will indulge in some types of cocktails though. This gin and tonic is mostly because I had this sitting around and tonic. But see, like, look, even this tonic water right here, which I don't even know what it is, but it has 255 calories. So why drink the extra calories even? It's like alcohol has enough calories. Like, I'm just going on a rant here, and I know don't take all this seriously. If you like cocktails, that's fair. But I'm really rambling right now. On a roll here. But yeah, it's like, I'd rather, give me a gin on the rocks. No, you know what, actually? Here is a cocktail that I actually really do enjoy. A martini. I think it's like gin and vermouth. I don't even like gin that much. But it's like alcohol mixed with more alcohol. It's like, there you go. More bang for the buck. I don't want alcohol mixed with this sugary substance and this other, like, another sugary substance and these artificial colors. I used to drink and I'll tell you, I've had bad experiences getting like, what I used to get. I used to get Long Island iced teas back in the day. There's like always a good deal for them, right? So I would get them, and every freaking time my face turned, I got the most crazy Asian flush I've ever seen. Every time I got cocktails, I would get just so red, like red on the skin, not only on my face, but like on my back, and it would be wild, dude. I'd sneak to the bathroom and just take cold water and just like, and I didn't at that time contribute to the cocktails. But I will say that after I stopped drinking cocktails with all the different sugars and everything in there, maybe my body has some weird other condition that I should be aware of, but I'm just not. Again, we're going on many tangents here. Yeah, so I just started drinking like straight up, you know, whiskey on the rocks, you know, straight up soju has always worked for me. Even beer. And then that problem goes away. Like a lot of times when you get that, I don't know, like I don't know the names of cocktails, but you see the list and it's like, what are these, dude? And they have the most like provocative names ever. These raunchy names. Sometimes it gets pretty deep in there. I'm like, what? I would just feel weird ordering that. And for one, if I drink like a couple of those, my face is gonna get so red and my stomach's gonna start hurting because of all that damn sugar in there. So if you're an Asian and you struggle with the Asian glow and you're drinking a lot of cocktails, here's a tip that I would, that's worked for me. It might not work for you or for anyone else, but stay away from the cocktails and try something else. Try something more neutral. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Cocktails, they're not a scam. I respect the people who are working in that industry, the mixologists. Man, I've been to some cool places and I really do enjoy like a nice cocktail, like handcrafted. They're like explaining everything to me real nice. Been to some crazy speakeasies where I went to one in Jeju Island when I was there last time. Maybe speakeasies are like a popular thing these days and it's not cool, but I went to one and it was like in the random area. No one would be the wiser, but it was in like the back of like this weird parking garage and there's an old school like red telephone booth, kind of like a la the streets of London, you know what I mean? So you walk in and then some trap door and you go sliding down the rabbit hole really, and you end up in this like cigar whiskey bar kind of cocktail bar, and I enjoyed that. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna like poo on people who are really good at what they're doing with like mixing stuff. So I always do enjoy that. It just, when I'm paying $20 for one of those, you know, okay, let me go somewhere else after like 2 drinks, you know what I mean? I truly did enjoy this cocktail session here, cocktail shrimp in this cocktail. I've already been filming for like 35 minutes, so I think I gotta get out of here real quick, and I'll probably cut a lot of this out. So, thank you for watching. Final thoughts, cocktail shrimp, add to the list. Something I've never tried before, but I like it, and if I ever go to a party and they have hors d'oeuvres, I'm definitely scooping a couple. And gin and tonic, it's a classic. I mean, it went pretty well with it. I think a Bloody Mary might even be the ultimate compliment, but you know, that is what that is. Anyway. All right, I'm skating out here. Thanks for watching. Catch y'all in the next video. Peace.